1 year ago, I was thinking about my winter holidays, and now I had to think about entering another world, another planet. Yes, that's right. In a car with an adolescent alien, I was traveling to Natrix, his planet. But the problem was that I had disappeared without telling anybody, and I didn't have any idea when I would come back to my planet, to my civilization. You can't forget that this alien, whose name I don't fucking know, is a teenager, which means he's always causing trouble. The point was that he was driving his flying car along the street. I was expecting he flew it, but it wasn't happening. Well, despite the fact that his windows were polarized, my worries hadn't stopped. Therefore, I asked him to drive the car by myself. I was about to drive a futuristic car, which was not only a car. As everything was silent, he decided to play loud music, disco music, later, punk rock. Suddenly, my anxiety and worries began to vanish. I started to relax and feel as another teenager. I wanted to smoke, drink, and do anything rather than serious matters. I wanted to find explanations for that radical change. For instance, I could think that this alien was manipulating my mind. However, I wasn't able to find an explanation. So I took a beer can and emptied it in seconds. Then I lit a cigarette I found there. As we were enjoying ourselves, a white man dressed in black was stood in the middle of the street. I slammed on the brake. The man was the same man I had felt that was following me several times. His skin was so pale that he looked like a ghost. Well, like a corpse, to be honest. However, my alien didn't seem to be scared. When he approached to us, I realized who he was. Fabio Serpa, but he had already died. Of course I'm dead, he said to me. I hadn't said a word. Maybe he could read my mind, I assume. We decided to open the door, and then he entered with a smile. I wanted to warn you several times, but I'm sure you thought I was chasing you. That was right. I had thought this man was not a good soul, but I was wrong. Anyway, I was in a certain way justified, because as my father was a very good reader, I always remembered about the men in black. Those guys, according to him, were not trustworthy. We have too much to talk. We have a long trip. Okay, Mr. Fabio. My father would like to be here with you, I thought. He's fan of aliens and this stuff. Sometimes he behaves as if he were an alien. Some questions were arousing about Mr. Serpa. Was I talking to a spirit, or was he real? Because when I shook hands with him, I could feel them rather cold. What the fuck? All of a sudden, the car was elevating, but I started to see that Mr. Serpa was paying attention to the moon. He looked at me and smiled. Let's make a stop first, he said, and he continued looking at Lady Moon.